Justin Timberlake marriage crisis exposed. We got to talk about this and more, but before we get into it, hi best friend, and welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, my whole vibe is pop culture, messy bestie, and the whole vibe, it's like we're on a FaceTime call. So if you were in the market for a new messy bestie that spills pop culture tea, hit that subscribe button. All right, best friend, do I have some tea for you? So listen, girl, I always have to have my comfort water bottle. Today is Lunar New Year's Eve and tomorrow is Lunar New Year's Day. So I do have some tips and tricks for you towards the end of the video. So make sure you tune in. You do not want to miss it. Trust me, okay? All right. So listen, Justin Timberlake is an artist that, we talk about sometimes when there's something worthy to talk about, right? He did come back on stage for a Grammy performance at a party, which I was very happy to see him, even though you guys know Justin Timberlake is not my cup of tea. It was very nice to see him back on stage after he said that he might not ever be able to perform again. So I wish every single person well. You guys know this about me. I don't play around when it comes to karma. I don't have the time for it. And I just really feel like we should never wish ill will onto anybody because we will get it in return. So the fact that he said that he might not be able to perform ever again, and to be able to perform again, kudos to him. But allegedly, it's not going so good in the marriage department because new reports are stating that Jessica Biel has full access to Justin Timberlake's phone until she can trust him again. Pals are whispering that Jessica Biel's new marriage rules are so strict, Justin Timberlake is without a doubt the most hand-picked husband in Hollywood right now. Quote, there is a very clear understanding that he is not calling the shots anymore. Not if he wants to keep her happy and remain a married man. It also goes on to say he does not question her. He does not push back, and he certainly does not get to do whatever he feels like, says the source. She has full access to his phone and his social media. Any moment she wants, he has to hand it over for her to look at it. Boys' nights are totally off limits, too, adds the source. Forget about randomly going out and about. She needs to know where he is at all times. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, first of all, Justin Timberlake has had a few share of drama in the past. For example, in 2019, he admitted to making a strong lapse of judgment after he was caught holding hands with Palmer co-star Alicia Wainwright during a night out in New Orleans. Then in 2024, he was arrested and charged with driving while intoxicated in Sag Harbor, New York, for which he paid a $500 fine, had his license suspended for 90 days, and served 25 hours of community service. Friends joke that he's on permanent probation, but it's not far off, admits the source. He does not want to lose her, and that means he has to live by her very strict rules, at least until she's sure she can trust him again. So let's talk about this, best friend, because quite frankly, I could never live like that if I was Jessica Biel. There are relationships that are important to maintain. Yes, there are, marriages that you always want to work out. Yes, you dream of having the picture perfect relationship. Yes, but girl, if you, of course this is all alleged, so take it with a grain of salt, but if you need to check this man's freaking phone every single day, if you need to check his whereabouts every single day, if you are high alert on who he's texting, what he's talking about, who he's talking about it with, where he's going, why is he taking so long at the grocery store, when there is a break in the trust department, it is very difficult to be freaking in a healthy relationship. I mean, I was with a jealous guy before, and I'll tell you about this, girl. My ex-boyfriend, a couple exes ago, he was absolutely I've never seen something like this in my life. And at first I thought it was cute. I'm like, oh my God, he's so overprotected. But then I was like, well, maybe he's fucking crazy, bitch. Like, I don't know what is going on here. I was so confoodled. I mean, I remember, like, going out with friends to dinner, and all of a sudden he would just appear after I told him where I was gonna be, who I was gonna be with, and that right there even all that also got me thinking a lot. Like, girl, this is a little weird, but I'm like, he's just my man. He's just protective, But I'm like, no, bitch, he's just fucking crazy. And he just showed up there. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot you guys were coming here. Can I join? He did that so many times. My friends actually sat me down and were like, Sebastian, we're too young for this. I mean, grant you, I was like 16 years old, He was like my first boyfriend. So, he was also learning, but I just remember, like, if I wouldn't answer the phone, and we went to the same school, so he knew my schedule. But if I didn't answer my phone, like, you know, after school or something, he would freak out. He would text my best friend. He would show up at my house. My mom actually had to tell him to not show up after certain times. I mean, because sometimes he would show up at 10:30 if I was not answering my phone. Twice she had to tell him that I was sleeping. Like, no. And like, you don't want to live like that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be with someone you can't trust. And it was a very, 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 like, crazy feeling, because I remember that my boyfriend after that, I didn't trust him. And I was always on high alert. And I always thought back to my first boyfriend. I'm like, maybe he didn't trust me. Is there such thing as a jealous person, or are they acting this way because they don't trust you, right? So it's just so confusing. But I believe that if you're in a relationship, you have to be able to trust. You cannot go around wondering or being upset or asking, who are you talking to? What are you doing? Where are you going? Da, da, da. How come you didn't answer? How come you didn't call me back? You can't live like that. Vice versa. And if you don't trust somebody you're with, you shouldn't be with them. And if the person that you're with doesn't trust you, then you should think about why they may not be trusting you. Like, are you doing something that maybe is causing it? But if you're not, you shouldn't be with that person, because you should be in a relationship where you feel calm, where you feel safe, where you could go out with friends. I had to cut a friend out of my life because she wouldn't go anywhere without her boyfriend. Even when I told her it was girls' night, like girls and gays, he would always show up, and he would be so bored. He would always just be sitting in a corner, like if he was a security watching us. And I had to tell her, I invited her over for a dinner where I specifically said girls and gays only. And the reason I do that is because, in our friend group, we have straight friends too. And, we joke about girls' night, guys' night. Like, it's just a thing we all do. And it's fun because we, some of our guy friends, straight friends, macho, they don't want to watch Princess Diaries because it's a girls' movie. So why the fuck are we going to have them there complaining? So we have girls' night, right? Girls and gays night, where we can do what we like to do in pop culture and enjoy the same things. But she had to always come with him. And I remember telling her specifically, I said, I'm having a dinner where only 6 of us, only 6, no plus ones. She said, okay, no problem, only 6. It was a dinner. I was making dinner. I never cook. Fucking put the plates out, had everything. All the girls came. She calls from down security, blah, 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 let her up. When she shows up with him, I went outside my door and I told both of them, and I said, are you here together? Are you dropping her off? What's going on? And this was after many times that I had to sit down and talk to her. So this was my limit. She goes, oh, it's just, he kind of wants to join. He was standing right there. He wants to join. He's feeling a little left out. I said, no, I'm sorry. We're going to be talking about things that we don't feel comfortable. Sometimes girls don't feel comfortable talking about things with guys around. So sorry. And he goes, but you're a guy. And I said, first of all, I'm gay. They feel comfortable with me, and this is my house. This man got livid. And she cursed me out. And I was nice at first. I was like, I'm sorry, this is girls' night. I specifically told you we're going to talk about things that, we don't want guys to hear. And he was so, leaning onto the homophobia and leaning on. And I said, you know what? You both can leave. I did. And I said, I love you, girl, but you need to fix this. And he was yelling this and that. He got escorted out and everything, girl. And I closed the door and I went back to my dinner party and I never talked to her again. Sorry. Listen, don't bring your toxic energy to other people. Just because you are in a toxic relationship does not mean you got to involve everybody else, period. Anywho, what do you guys think about Justin and Jessica Biel? If this is true, I don't think they're going to make it because this is not a healthy way to live. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to hear from you all. I am so grateful and thankful. And here are the do's and the don'ts for Lunar New Year's Eve and Lunar New Year's Day. Mwah.
So we're stepping into the fire horse year, which only comes around every 60 years. And in Chinese astrology, the fire horse is incredibly powerful, dynamic, fast moving. So every year I send my friends a list of sort of do's and don'ts for the new year. I know a lot of you have been asking me, and I'm sorry, I'm like literally making this on New Year's Eve, but here we are, so you still have some time. So first, I'm going to give you some do's and don'ts, and then actually I'm going to give you colors that you should be wearing specifically for your animal. The most important thing is clean your house today. I know it's late in the day already. It's already mid-afternoon in LA, but clean your house now, take all the trash out, sweep everything that you need to sweep and get out of the house. And don't take anything out of your house tomorrow. No trash, no vacuuming, no sweeping. If you have to sweep for some reason, sweep towards the house, not away from the house, so you're not pushing out your luck and your wealth and your abundance. So that's why you want to take all the trash out now, and tomorrow keep everything in your home. Just hold on for dear life and throw it out the next day. Also, no hair cutting tomorrow. Cancel your appointments because when you cut your hair, you're cutting also. Chinese culture is all about abundance and luck, so you don't want to cut off your luck. Another thing is avoid breaking anything. Again, if you break something by accident, then you have to sweep towards the inside of the house, like just leave a pile there so you can pick it up later. But really just don't do that at all because that's not a good sign. That's not a good thing to do. So another thing is giving hongbao, which is the red envelopes, which represents, again, luck. It's all about luck and having a lucky year. So what you want to do is for adults to give to children or unmarried couples. And it doesn't really matter necessarily how much, but anything with an 8 in it would be great. 8 is considered good luck, a number. It's an infinite sign. So $8, $88, $888, whatever you have, is great. So now, wearing red is important. However, there are better colors per your Chinese zodiac animal. So I'm going to go through that in a minute. But if it's your year, if you're a horse, which my daughter Zoe is, you want to know that it doesn't necessarily mean it's like your year. It's a good luck year for you. It's a year that's about you. It's a year that's focused on you. And that could mean positive things or negative. So you want to be heightened in your awareness, and you just want to make sure that you just know what's happening, going on. Things just tend to be about you. So that's just something important. And I always keep like a red wallet, a red bracelet, something to protect you and to give you extra positivity during your year. So Zoe will have something in her backpack every day that's red. Wear red underwear. Finally, a good note is pay your dues, meaning if you have any debts, and don't lend any money during the new year. So today is the day that if you owe anybody any money, pay it off now, because that means that if you don't, you will be indebted forever, that you'll feel indebted forever for the year. I'm going to go over the animals really quick with the color. I'm going to post it in the captions. You have it. But quickly, for the rat, you want to wear blue and gold, ox, yellow and earth tones, tiger, orange and gray, rabbit, pink and purple, dragon, gold and silver, snake, deep red and black, Horse, red, and coral. So like horse, again, my daughter's a horse, and you want to just lean into fire colors like that, strong red colors. If you're a goat, beige or soft green. Monkey, white metallics. Rooster, golden brown. Dog, I'm a dog, green and red accents. And pig, yellow and warm neutrals. I had